I was given the idea by my colleague and friend, Rabbi Avram Kibalevich, several months ago, that in learning Zohar Kodesh for the first time, one should learn it al derech Pshat and do so with the Perush Nitzutze Zohar of the Reb Reuven Margolios. And today was Lag BaOmer, and in accordance with the tradition of the day, I decided that today is a good day as any to start doing this series, calling it 5 minutes, more or less, daily, of more or less, of the Zohar Kodesh as much as possible according to Derech Pshat. So for those who have the notion that the Zohar Kodesh is ostensibly monolithically Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's work, obviously the Zohar starts with Rabbi Chizkiah, and the Nosachach Rabbi Elazar making a statement. Rabbi Chizkiah Pesach, Ksif, it says, Shoshana bein hacholchim, like a rose among thorns. Man Shoshana, who is this rose? The Knesset Yisrael. This is the community of Yisrael, Am Yisrael. Knesset Yisrael, sometimes equated in the Kabbalah with the Shechina. But in any event, here I don't think it's departs from Yen Mikra Yotzim Pshuto, that it also refers to Klal Yisrael. There's a parenthesis here, keeping with tradition in the world of learning. We'll skip the parentheses. Just like the rose among thorns. It has red and white, evidently red and white colors, perhaps even the same rose. There can be red and white hues. Of Knesset, so too Am Yisrael. Isbeit din v'rachme has din and rachmim. So red normally associated with din, and the white with rachmim, and the Am Yisrael has its the elements of din and elements of rachamim. Obviously, Am Yisrael's life as a nation goes back and forth between din and rachamim. Mashashan isbeit tleisar alin, just like the rose has 13 leaves. I don't know if it's necessarily taken literally, but in any event, the Knesset Yisrael isbeit tleisar mechilin de rachamin. So too, Klal Yisrael has 13 containers of rachamim. The such because Yisrael which surround all sides. Those midas are rachamim. Mida is mechila in Aramaic, and those midas are rachamim surround the Am Yisrael on all sides. Despite the fact that there's in Am Yisrael din and rachamim, surrounding Am Yisrael there are 13 midas of rachamim. The idea is that even the midah of din has its purpose rooted in the midas of rachamim. Although it looks from din on the inside, were one to step outside the system and look from the outside in, one could see that actually includes rachamim as well. Comes from rachamim. Everything comes ultimately from the rachamim which surround the thorn. The of Elokim the hacha. So to the name Elokim in the first pasuk of the Torah, Rishis Elokim es hashemayim v'aretz, mi'ishaita the adkir. From the time it's mentioned, Afik, Tleisar Tevin, the 13 words come out. The Nitzutze Ora says, Kolomar, Melokim Rishon ad Elokim Sheni Yud Gimel Tevos. From the first time it says Elokim in the Torah, for the next time it says Elokim in the Torah, there are 13 words corresponding to these 13 containers of Midas Arachamim. Avik says a taving l'sachra the Knesset Yisrael to surround Am Yisrael unnatural and preserve it. And afterwards it's mentioned Elokim another time, 13 words later. Begin la'afok chamesh alit kifin l'sacharin l'shoshana. And the Nitzutze explains, in other words, in the second time it's Elokim until the third time it says Elokim, it's 5 with the 5 words, and those 5 words represent the 5 midos of din. So first we have the midos of rachamim, which surround the midos of din, and then we have the midos of din itself. And those are the chamesh alin kifin the sachrin the shoshana. Vino chamesh ikrun yeshuos. In chamesh tarin. So 5 are called yeshuos, salvations, and 5 are called tarin, and 5 are called gates. What exactly that means, I guess we'll see. Faraz dog seep, and in this concerning on this secret, it says, Kos yeshuos esa, dog kos shabracha. I lift up a kos shabracha. That's a kos yeshuos. Kos shabracha tzarech lemeheve chamesh etzbon. The kosher bracha has to rest on the 5 fingers. The lo yatir, and not more. I mean, even though you're supposed to take the kosher bracha with 10 fingers, it's supposed to rest on 5 fingers. That's why the 5 yeshuos, the kosher yeshuos. So the kigab the shoshana the asar chamesh litkifin. Dugma chamesh etzbon. Just like the Shoshana sits on 5 strong leaves, just like the 5 fingers. So the language of chamesh alin kifin sounds like it's actually the 5. It's mostly the 5 dinim. But I don't think so, because you're supposed to take kosher bracha with 10 fingers. I'm not so much on that personally, but 10 fingers, which are the 5 right and 5 left. I'm a lefty, so everything is reversed by me. But theoretically, the 5 dinim and the 5 rachmin and 5 dinim, and it's supposed to then rest on the 5 fingers of the right hand. So I think even though it's called kifin here, they are called the strong, the sense of strong rachmin supporting the kos. So kos should be kosher bracha, and you're going to be able to uplift it and use it in order to bring yeshuos to the world. So there are tarin, they're the gates, and there are the yeshuos, which are strong yeshuos, because it's a kosher bracha, with which you're lifting up, which is surrounded by the fingers, which represent rachmim, and that brings rachmim. Those are rachmim which are in the Shoshana. Shoshana di kudai kosher bracha, and the Shoshana itself is a kosher bracha, which has the 5 and the 5, but it's supposed to ultimately emphasize the bracha. Melokim tinyan elokim tlisah, from the second elokim to the third elokim chamesh tivin. We said the 5 words. Mikan al from here on in, or the ispire, presumably the continuation of Parshas Bereishis, is a light which was created vizkaniz and then hidden. Vizkalel b'bris hahu da'al b'shoshana, and it was included in the bris and went into the Shoshana. In other words, it's concealed within Am Yisrael. All that light which was created and was going to tzaddikim, it's concealed within Am Yisrael, within the rows. Va'apik bo zara, and it creates within it a seed. V'doikre eitz oseh pri, zarobo. And Am Yisrael is that eitz oseh pri, which zarobo, meaning it's seeded with that rachamim, which came from previously, and it is the or hagonus, which is within the Shoshana of Klal Yisrael. Vahu zera kayama oz bris mamash, and this is the way the New Tzitzaris explained it. Shulchani eno kigashmi el or nishba b'malchus nishar gan ken b'yisod. Okay, we're not going to get into how light remains in Yisod. The same time it spreads to Malchus, but we're going to, because we're learning at a simple level. In other words, that it's obviously it's bris because Yisod, but the idea is that it's not always apparent in Malchus. It's not always manifest, but it's always there in internally, and having that light is something which illuminates and sparks. Perhaps very often mostly darkness, but sparks which illuminate that darkness throughout history. The bris is dara, and just as the form of the bris is planted, it's implanted by Boim betrain zivugin in the 42 matches, which the Nitzutzah says the lamed base at times 32 times says Elokim are my spacious, and the Yud Ma'amaros with which the world is created. Kach is Dara Shema Galifa Mefurish Bememes Asman of the Bereshis. And so too, just we have the name of 42 letters, his name, and etc. So that and the 42, which are represent the 42 Masos of Am Yisrael throughout the Midbar, and that represents to us the light which illuminates us, the Aragonus, despite the fact that we find ourselves as a Shoshana Ben Achochim, not always with the light revealed. That brings us to the end of the first paragraph in the Zohar Zohar Kodesh, and it's been a bit more than 5 minutes today. Probably will go a bit more than 5 minutes in most days, but that came brought us to the end of a thought. So we'll stop here for today.